So the president this weekend signed executive orders. He signed 4 of them, and I want to talk about all of them, and not just a few of them. Talk about a few of them first, and then the most amazing one. Well, so first off, the president signed an executive order for a payroll tax. Now, the payroll tax doesn't really help a lot of people. It actually mainly helps the rich, it helps corporations, it helps the powerful. And he's basically saying, well, if you make $100,000 or less, you don't have to pay that payroll tax, that 6.25 payroll tax, 6.25% payroll tax for an amount of months. Well, sure, but you're still going to be on the hook to pay it. You're still going to be made to pay it if Congress doesn't pass a law that says, hey, president over here, dimwit, passed it, now or signed it, now we kind of have to do it. He runs into some problems here. First off, he can't really do a tax cut. That is because the Constitution literally tells him he can't do it. But we all know that the president doesn't like to follow the Constitution. No president really does, let's just be fair. But this president in particular doesn't really like the Constitution. First off, he doesn't know what it says. Okay? But anyway, let's get to the relief. Now, the payroll tax, he's been asking for this since January. It's basically in a way to cut Social Security and Medicare. Now, he technically had tried to ask the Republican Congress to do it. It's not that they didn't want to. They want to keep their seats. And the Republican congressman said, are you crazy? That's a political death, suicide. Like, that's terrible. So they didn't do it. He incorporated it here, and now this is to cut Social Security and Medicare. So it's the first step, and he says, hey, if this goes on, if I get reelected, I will continue it. So this means I'm going to cut Social Security and Medicaid, okay? And Medicare. We're in trouble. Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, all on the chopping block. So that's the first executive order. The second, student loan, paying 0% interest on all federal student loans, or if you can't or don't want to pay it, you don't have to. I'm pretty sure that they're going to be in deferment and then you're going to have to pay them after this pandemic. But the 0% interest, I don't think this is going to be an issue for the president, just because he's doing this through the Department of Education, and the Department of Education, Betsy DeVos, has got certain powers to make that happen, to make sure that students are not paying, or former students are still not paying student loans during the pandemic. That is her game. So, he does have the power to do that. Then he signed the unemployment relief, which is $400 federal unemployment, but then he's paying 75% of it through the federal government, and then making the states pay a quarter of it, so 25%. That's a problem because, again, he doesn't have spending power. It is up to the Congress to do so. So I don't know that this is going to happen. So, I mean, for those of you who are hearing, oh my God, he's passing unemployment, be careful. If you don't see it in your bank accounts in the next few weeks, don't think like, oh my God, the state's not doing it. It's because he doesn't have that power. So we're going to see, is this actually going to work? No, and also, there's a lot of states that cannot pay 25% of unemployment for every single person who's out of a job, because there's 28 million people out of a job now? 20? It doesn't matter. There's so many people out of a job now. Now, apparently, according to the official numbers, they added 2 million jobs in the private sector or public sector, in the private sector a month ago. But the problem is you still have about 10.2 million people unemployed. The U6 unemployment, though, is double what the official unemployment numbers are. So it's probably at around 20.2% or 4 or 5 or 6, whatever it is. But 20.2% I would give it, 20% unemployment. We're still pretty high. Most people cannot find a freaking job. But so I don't know if this is actually going to happen, if states are able to put up that 25%, so there you go. The last one is through the Housing and Urban Development Department. That is through Dr. Ben Carson. They have certain powers. This one's a little bit more complicated and nuanced. And now remember, I'm releasing these videos, and I'm sure the videos are going to get updated with other videos because people are going to come out on Monday and they're going to be like, today basically, they're going to be like, oh, hey, this and that and this. So yeah, so those are the things. Is that so he wants to extend the rent and eviction moratorium. So basically, you don't have to pay your rent. You cannot get evicted. If you cannot pay it, because obviously you need money. I don't, as I spoke to one of my friends who's going to be a guest on this podcast, possibly this week. I'm not too sure. I said it's a little too late. It's too little too late because you've got millions of people unemployed, right? And then you have a bunch of people being evicted from their houses right now. So their condos and their apartments. So that's the biggest issue right now, is that you've already had people who are evicted. Congress and the president did not act soon enough. And I know Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi said, oh, he doesn't have the spending power. I don't know why he's doing this. He's terrible. He's going to bankrupt the states. Well, to Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, I would ask, why didn't you have the balls to go after more? Why not UBI? Why not Medicare for all? Why not a mortgage freeze? Why not a rent freeze? Why not student loan forgiveness? Why not? There's just so many things, that they could have done. The $1,200 unemployment check, make that or a stimulus check, make that $2,000, give it to every single person in the country. No ands, ifs, or buts. 16 and over, you get the unemployment. The unemployment if you don't have a job, but you get the taxes. You get the stimulus check, and that's it. And so, I'm not sure if this is gonna work. Again, I think with the housing and urban development, I think it might work just because he's actually using administrative agencies. So people that actually do this for a job, and they can actually control that. As for the unemployment, I'm not very sure. I just had to go on that rant about Congress because can't criticize the president when you had a part to do with it. So that is my spiel. That's the update on the executive orders. I'm sure by the time that I post this, there's going to be more and more and more coming out, but that is the update.